When changing jobs, don't make these 3 financial mistakes. My name is Eugene Hoover. I'm a wealth advisor specializing in financial planning. Let's start right off the bat with, if you did get a new job, I hope it's everything you're looking for. Hopefully you're making more money and things are just better overall. To get right into the checklist, number 1, this is the benefits package. Now, more than likely, you got a good little glimpse at this when you were applying for the job. But now that you're actually in the job and you've been in there for a little while, let's make sure you understand your retirement plan options, bonuses and incentives, and of course the insurance involved. If when we're looking at bonuses and incentives, there's normally, almost always, strings attached. So please make sure you understand what those strings are and how they affect you. Now, on the retirement plan options, this could be, for example, 401k, which is a very popular plan. If there's an employer match, what is required for you to get that match? Some employers will just give you, for example, 3%. You don't have to put any money in, you receive 3%. Some employers will require you to put 3% in for a 3% match, where essentially every dollar you put in, they'll match up to 3%. There's other employers that have other rules, such as if you put in 3%, they'll match half of that. So in other words, in order for you to get the employer match of 3%, you have to contribute 6%. So make sure you understand all those rules because they can get a little complex. Not only can they get a little complex, they can change it on you. So just keep an eye on that. Make sure you're getting the free money. Now, number 2, and this is one of the areas I specialize. We're going to go a little more in depth. This is what to do with your rollover if you had a previous plan with an employer. Like I mentioned already, this could be a 401k. This could also be a 457, a 403b. There's a lot of options here. SEP IRA, whatever it is. There's rollover options for each one of these plans. Using a 401k as an example, since it is a very popular plan, is you've got essentially 4 options. Option number 1, you could cash it out and take the distribution. Now, for most people, if you're under 59 and a half, you're going to get penalized and taxed. And not only that, but you're going to lose that deferred growth. So I generally do not advise that option. And this is not specific advice to you because I don't know your situation. Option number 2. Now, option number 2 is you actually leave your plan at the previous employer. Some employers will allow this, some won't, but realize a couple things. Number 1, anytime you need something, you're going to be dealing with your old employer. Number 2, an employer plan is an employer benefit to the employee. What that means is most plans actually help you as an employee because, for example, if there's an employer match, the employer is giving you free money. The big thing is that there's expenses generally with every single one of these types of accounts. And so the employer will actually pay some of the fees on these accounts. And so if you have a 401k plan, for example, there's a good chance that if you're no longer an employee, your fees will actually go up on that plan. So keep that in mind. So that's option 2. You could leave it there if the plan allows. If you like the investment options, that kind of thing. Option number 3. On option number 3, if both plans allow it, you can actually transfer your old plan, roll it into your new plan. What's nice about this option and the previous option is it's not going to cause any issues with taxes or penalties because you're just rolling it into another qualified account. The thing here is each plan has different rules. So what that means is both plans have to allow you to do it. Be wary of fees. There's often transfer fees with this kind of thing. And also realize, is the new plan everything I'm looking for? Does it have great investments, that kind of thing? Is it easy to transfer the account and watch those fees? Now, the last option, which is option number 4, this is what a lot of people will do, and they will roll their plan into something like an IRA or a Roth IRA, depending on the plan and what you're trying to achieve. I do these every single day, and it's one of those things where no longer are you reliant on the employer. It's now in your name. You never have to roll it again. It is yours. Here's a couple things about this. Number 1, you are now the manager of the account. Beforehand, it was essentially the 401k provider was providing you all these funds. So realize that you're now the manager. And this is where most people hire someone like me to manage the funds. Because the nice thing about something like an IRA or a Roth IRA is you now have more investment options. You can actually tailor things more to your needs. And not to mention that, you don't have to deal with the employer. And if you're someone who likes to change jobs often, what that means is you can just constantly roll those plans into your IRA, which is now your plan. And just like with a 401k, it is a retirement plan. And so it's qualified growth. There's no penalty, there's no tax until you distribute the money. And so just kind of keep those things in mind. And let's move on to the last and final thing, and that is beware of lifestyle creep. All right, so like I said at the beginning, you're hopefully making more money than you were before. And if that's the case, there's a good chance that you are spending more money than you were before, which is not a bad thing. But just keep in mind that every single dollar bill that you make should have a plan. And if you're someone who's planning on retiring early or whatever date you have set for retirement and those goals and vacation goals and things you know you're going to have to pay for, make sure each dollar has a job. And yes, some of those dollars, those new dollars, their job is to go have fun with, and that's perfectly okay. But also realize that some of those dollars should also go to your savings, some to your investments. They should all be broken down and be representative of your plan and goals. Thanks for taking the time. See you next time.